So Diddy lawyer is fighting the case under the the pretense that everything you're hearing about was consenting adults. This was essentially him and the ex-girlfriend, like, because it does only say it's one victim in the case, right? But he's trying to say like this is all consenting things. Nobody was forced to do anything. Everything you hear, she wanted to do, et cetera, right? Now, after this whole thing going on, let's say if you really trying to say that as your defense, and we start hearing all this crazy stuff, that I'm sure would be traumatic for Cassie to sit there and have to go through, or any woman for that matter. So now this ain't got nothing to do with Diddy case. This is a conversation I had. I'm gonna just relate this to Diddy case. I was recently having a conversation, and a woman was telling me how she likes to be like manhandled per se, like just
That's a strong word.
Because I'm trying not to use the other words because it makes it sound crazy.
I've actually heard that.
You've
word.
heard that before. You've heard it before.
That word verbatim before.
Like to be choked a little bit. She wants you to pull her hair, put your elbow on her head or something. All this kind of crazy. Okay, she didn't say the elbow part, but like she was saying, like she enjoys like rough.
That's why
rough
we need
outings.
specifics. Here's a check sheet, a checklist, and you check off the things that you want and don't want.
This is where the conversation went. So I was telling her, I'm like me personally at this point, I'm not really into all that overly aggressive stuff with a woman, because I'm gonna tell you why. Younger me.
No pause on that.
Overly aggressive stuff with a woman. What's pause about that?
Because you're talking about coitus, I believe, and it wouldn't only be a woman.
Bro, I'm good. Don't try to Diddy me, bro. No Diddy. You gotta relax, bro.
I would never Diddy you.
Man gotta be able to talk, bro.
Hey, my bad. I think you said something to me earlier, so I was just shooting back. My bad. I was probably hating.
It was funny. It was, man. Pause. But no, what I was telling her was, like, when I was younger, I was into all that, right? Because I really just didn't care. But then the older I got, the more conversation you have with women over the years that you date, women that's your friends, whatever, and you hear so many stories of like when they was young girls, somebody touching them, somebody doing, some things that no male should be doing to little girls at that age. And you hear these stories, but I done heard stories about.
Okay, and then the next thing.
Nah, bro, we don't get into it. You know what I'm saying? You hear these things, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, as I got older, I don't feel the same about doing some of that stuff to them, because I feel like these things should be traumatic to you. And I almost feel like I'm the one that's giving you pleasure within your trauma. And I don't like the feeling of that. I don't want to be the person that's, even if that's not what you thinking, it's in my mind because I care about you and I know something hurt you. And I'm not going to be like excited to do things that I know that really hurt you and that really affected you. So I don't like pleasing a woman like through their trauma.
That is a thing. That is it can be true for some. I'll say that. Oh man, I'm sure. You ever see them like tightrope walkers, boy? I'm up there. No balance beam either. I'm just all hands. But yeah, it can be true for some. But I do find, and it is a thing that's like, you don't want to feel like I'm reliving this, or being that person or whatever. But I said it earlier. That is kind of I don't want to use I want to use that word. That's a strong word. It is kind of a thought that is a me thought in a situation that's kind of really only sensitive to her. And if that is the way that she chooses to handle it or deal with it, then I'm okay with that. I also don't ask for too many specifics to kind of know that these things she's saying or these things that she wants is a part of that. I can only in my head assume once she's relayed to me that she's went through an experience like that. So now I can only assume that maybe me putting a little pressure on her clavicle area may be a spark of that. But I choose not to ask in detail about that because I don't want to feel that way. So,
and that's cool. But see, to me, it's not just a her thing. As a man, it's a protector thing in me that if this was done to you, I don't like that feeling. And like, it is not even that I'm still not going to time to time want to do what I do. You know what I'm saying? But like, if that's like the way you just enjoy that all the time, that's gonna make me uncomfortable. Because I feel like you shouldn't like this. That's how I feel. It's not about you might be cool with it. That's how I feel.
I guess I never been through nothing that extreme to that point. I never been to nothing that extreme to where this has to happen every time. Anything like that is always some, spur of the moment. It's not a regular thing. It's not a every time thing. It's not like. It's not like she want me to.
She might not tell you to do it every time, but there's some women that really want you to put their head in the bathwater every time.
And that's what I call love. I appreciate that. She knows me. She knows what my boundaries, and she understands me, and she knows I might not be really into reliving her trauma like that. So she's gonna keep that like away from me and not like have me do that. I understand the scary part about that, but.
Yeah.
That's a different conversation that we're not going to get into.
To say that anything that Diddy was doing was consenting, I feel like you trying to say that woman was okay with some traumatic things, and that's why I wanted to like tie that in.
Oh yeah, nah, that's I don't know about that. That's like I said, he probably I'm sure it was a power dynamic with him, and he felt like once I pay for this to happen this way, this goes my way, and he took it too far too many times.
No, he definitely
because I'm sure it was a thing and it was okay at first, and then he stepped it up, and then even the people that he allegedly were paying was like, nah, that's too much. And now you also was bringing in the intoxicants. Yeah. You bringing that in too, so now you taking people's choice away. And plus, that's just the women part.
Yeah,
we ain't talking about the abuse, the criminal stuff,
the other ghost weapons they found, cereal,
the playing with fire.
Yeah,
look, it's some wild stuff out there. They make that Joker Halloween outfit seem a little bit more wild, a little bit more crazy. That whole video played different now. Yeah. When dude from Power was wilding out, and he was in the video, and then he had to realize, like, oh, that's Diddy.
He probably knew, oh, that's Diddy.
In the Joker outfit, playing like that though.
Yeah,